This is the behind the scenes, and pretty soon we're going to start with our live interview on urbannationradio.com. So just look at us while you wait for the video to really begin. All right? That's now YouTube. Ready, go!
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome back to Motivation Mondays with Monica Marie Jones, the special extended feature edition. We have an interview with Miss L. Renee, and we had to do an extra hour and a special time just to make sure we got her in before she leaves the country. Now let me tell you a little bit about her, why she inspires me, then I'll let her tell you about her. First of all, El Renee is a background singer for Motown recording artist Kim, as well as a dynamic vocalist in her own right. I have seen her open up many shows, and she has one of those voices that gives you a shiver in your soul. Like, you know how some people can sing, but she can sing, and when she sings, you get the little goosebumps and everything. Now, you know what I'm talking about. And as you know, every time I have a guest on my show, it's because that person personally motivates or inspires me in some way. Now, I've been following El Renee for many years. I saw her open for Eric Roberson. I saw her perform at the Fuller Woman Expo many years ago. And what's really inspiring me these days, I've been watching her on social media, and she has been just transforming before our very eyes in so many ways. Not to say that she has not always been amazing, but she posts these posts called Glow, and I read them just like people read my Monday morning motivations. She has these beautiful pictures, and I'm like, is that like a professional photographer or a smartphone? And then she just gives us a nice little motivational message in every city on the tour, and it just motivates and inspires me every time she posts them. So, El Renee, without further ado, please give us your 30-second elevator pitch so we can know who you are.
Nice. Well, my name is El Renee. I am a singer and songwriter from Detroit, Michigan. I am the first artist to be signed to Chemistry Records, and I'm putting out an album very soon. I've been working as an artist for almost 10 years.
Wow, yeah.
I have 3 studio albums that I put out independently,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm excited about this next project. Is that 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Very good.
See, she gave you what she did, and she left you wanting more. So let's dig in. We're going to start with talking about you are a background singer for Kim. We actually broadcasted live from his Feed the Homeless Mac and Third concert, so we got to see you perform there as well. But tell us how that happened, becoming a background singer for him.
Okay, well, let's see. I was working for a company, and I got laid off.
We love stories like that. You know, the beauty that comes out of challenges. Continue.
Right. And I had already been moonlighting as a vocalist around town. I would sometimes put on my own events. I was performing regularly at Floods, and I had just recently entered a competition that Andre Harrell had here in Detroit. He was looking for the next superstar soul star. It's close to what he called it. But anyway. So anyway, I didn't win that competition, but it just so happened that Kim's manager was on the panel of judges for the competition. And as soon as I had gotten laid off, I got some messages from her asking if I was interested in auditioning. It was 6 of us at Studio A in Dearborn, Michigan. And when I tell you... if anything could have gone wrong, it did. I got extremely sick the week before. I'm normally good at remembering parts because that's my job as a vocalist, and I was having a very hard time remembering lyrics and everything. Maybe it was the nerves, and I had a temperature of at least 100 degrees, and I didn't want to go to the doctor because I didn't want them to tell me that I couldn't go to this audition.
Right.
So I went to the audition, barely able to sing, and luckily Kim was impressed enough to offer me one of the positions on the spot.
Wow.
And that was 4 years ago.
What a powerful story. And see, sometimes we think if we don't win something, it's the end of the world.
Right.
Or if we have an event and 5 people show up, it's the end of the world. But there could be that one person in the audience.
That's right.
And there's always a bigger picture. There's always something else. So never feel discouraged or like it's over. And as you spoke about that, that reminds me of another thing I love about you is that you work with a lot of other artists in the area. So my big brother, Lynn Roundtree, I've done a little writing with him, and I know you've been on some of his work. And then Poetic, who is also one of the WeJs at Urban Nation Radio. I know you've been on his album. So I love the fact that you know, took the time to work and collaborate and, you know, be a part of the Detroit music community in that way. I was watching the R&B Divas, and one of them was like, I don't do backgrounds, or I don't do. I'm like, what? And so I just love that about you.
Wow, thanks.
Wow, that's a powerful story. I'm sitting here being motivated and inspired as we speak. So Kim now has a record label called Chemistry Records. Is that the correct term for it? Record label? Or?
Absolutely.
Okay,
it is a
and
record label.
You are the first artist to be signed. So tell us about that.
Cool. Well, actually, I'm really more like the second artist, but I say that because he started Chemistry Records in order to put his album out. I think most people know the story, but in case you don't, Kim was an independent artist like me, and actually I was inspired by his story, and that's what started my independent thing that I've done with my 3 studio albums. So anyway, Chemistry Records, he started it, and he put out his first project, Chemistry. That's the name of the album. Everybody thinks that's his name, but that's the title of his first album. Right, I always hear people
say Chemistry, and I'm like, I don't know if that's his... Thank you for clearing that up for us.
Correct. His name is Kim, and he put that album out. It did so well that he was signed to Motown Records. And because of knowing that story, I started to put out my own albums. And anyway, so Chemistry Records was for him, actually, and he hadn't intended on adding any other artists at all. And the way that he likes to tell the story is that until he met me as one of his background vocalists. And I think maybe because I was inspired by him, and then maybe bringing that work ethic to, you know, the team that he has with his team Kim, that's what we call ourselves. I think maybe that inspired him to help me advance to the next level. And yeah, I'm the first artist to be added, aside from him, to Chemistry Records.
Wow, and I know that journey because as an author, an independent author, it's a similar thing. You start your publishing company so you can publish your own book. But then, for me, same thing. When I really believe in someone else, that's when I'm like, okay, I know it was a lot of work, but I'll help you because I believe in you. Speaking of taking things to the next level, I'm just throwing this in here. I saw you on Good Morning America recently. Yeah. So not only are you traveling the world, but also, you know, on huge things like Good Morning America. What was that experience like?
Major platform. It was kind of a dream come true. It was amazing. You know, when you're younger and you see things on TV, you think, wow, you're mesmerized by it, and then you grow up and it's like, I'm actually here. Like, this is what it looks like behind the scenes. And the people are so pleasant. And even at 5:30 in the morning, it was just an amazing experience. I'm looking forward to being able to be El Renee on Good Morning America. No offense to Kim, but, you know, I'm glad that I had the opportunity to even experience it. We're grateful to him for that because, you know, honestly, he doesn't have to have me and the other 2 background vocalists or the rest of the band there. He's with his own weight, he can stand alone, and I just appreciate him allowing us to be a part of that.
It's
that
something
process
about
also.
The singers in the live band, though. I mean, tracks are okay, but, you know, I used to be a backup dancer for Dorinda and for Kiki Shear, and it's just it's all about that live music that just adds to the experience. I'm glad he incorporates that. Now, you are on that path as well, so yes, there will be El Renee on Good Morning America. So talk about, you know, your new album that's coming out, and, well, let's start with your first single from that album, Don't Say Goodbye, which is on Kim's album, Promise to Love.
It is. Kim, once again, very gracious person, put my single for my upcoming album, Glow, on his album. That's almost unheard of. Yes, I am signed to his record label that he started. However, you know, the legalities and the, you know, the push that it requires to even get clearance from the label that he's, you know, obligated to, which is Motown Records, to allow an independent artist to have a slot on his album. That's pretty major. And I'm proud to say that the album has peaked at #1 already.
Wow.
Not my song, but the album itself. And so now it's like, oh my God, I get to say that my single is on a #1 selling album. Like, wow, that's huge.
And can I also say from a business standpoint that that's brilliant for him, you know, and for you.
Absolutely.
It's like, okay, I'm this new artist, I'm coming out, but bam, here's the first single, not just on the radio, but on this album.
Right.
That is #1. That is amazing. So I just was making sure we didn't need to take a break. Okay. I feel movement and I see. Okay. Anyways, so okay, let's talk about you going on tour and opening up for Kim, and then you are now not just a background singer, but you are going to have your own set opening the show with your band.
Right.
Starting in November, the best month of all, because that's when my birthday is. Okay. Tell us about that.
Well, as you've already mentioned earlier, I've had the opportunity to open for Kim a couple of times, and I'm excited to actually take that on tour. His album Promise to Love is doing great, and I'm his artist. What better opportunity than to allow me to present, myself as, being able to hold my weight on my own also as an opening act. It's very exciting. My first tour ever was with Kim, so it feels like the next natural thing to do, and I'm excited that I get to share that experience with my family that I was able to have the first experience of touring with. I know that we're gonna have an amazing time. We're gonna make some great memories, and there's gonna be a lot of great music going on. From what I understand, there's Kim, Joe, and myself. Yep. So I'm gonna do my set and then do my Supergirl thing and then get back on stage as a background vocalist.
Ooh, that's gonna be a lot, honey.
Well,
but I just see it like, so you started off, that's your first tour touring with him,
right.
Then you go on this next tour opening for him and background singing, but then I see the next thing is going to be your tour. Don't you just feel it? The atmosphere?
That would be awesome. I would hate to leave, but you have to grow. You have to grow. That's a part of life.
And I'm sure it sounds like from the way you've been describing his character, I'm sure he would totally support that, right?
And of course he's getting a kickback, so
that's
how it works. It's not, from a business standpoint, it works well for all parties involved. And that's not the first time that has happened. Whitney Houston has the same track record. She used to sing background for Shaka Khan, and then she would do her set and then go do background vocals. It's not unheard of at all.
I didn't know that. I'm learning all types of musical facts here. Okay, so this I just have to throw in because this is another way that you inspired me. Now, you have always been dynamic and beautiful and wonderful, but I literally visually see this transformation over time. I mean, the style, the hair, the fitness. What's going on? Can you give us some secrets? Because I am watching you, and I know you don't necessarily talk about it, but I see it. I've been following you for all these years. So give us some inspiration and some motivation, because we often have, fitness tips and things like that on this show. So what do you have to say?
Really, I kind of just have 2 rules, and I'm not saying I never break them, but I am more active now. I exercise more because I want to look a certain way in my clothes, and I just take it one day at a time. And as far as, I think maybe the transformation happened more quickly because I try not to consume sugar. I realized that because of my ethnic background and my family history, I am more prone to diabetes. So I decided, what an unfortunate end it would be if I could control that and I work as hard as I do, and people are watching, people are inspired, people want to do better because they're seeing me, just by singing, let alone whatever else happens. I'm a mentor for a small girl group, for my girl power, and then come to an end with diabetes. It doesn't make any sense. So if I could change it, I think I should have, and I did. And this is the residual result.
Yeah, and that's similar to my lifestyle change journey. It was like, my mom has diabetes, my grandma, my grandfather, everybody, my uncle. So how dare I not, while I have the chance and the opportunity to change my lifestyle to make
Absolutely.
a difference.
But that doesn't mean to say, like I said, I do have my times when I do. Like, I love me some fried catfish, macaroni and cheese and grits. Like, don't get it twisted. But I have learned to not overindulge on a regular basis. So for the most part, yeah, I'm more of a protein and vegetable and fruits person.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing that. I didn't even clear it with you before to make sure it was okay, but I just felt moved to ask that, and I appreciate you being transparent about that.
Yeah.
Whew, the conversation is getting good, but we must take a break. You are listening to Motivation Mondays with Monica Marie Jones and El Renee today. So we will be back after this short break. Stay tuned to urbannationradio.com.
Not old like 3, 2,
Welcome back to Motivation Mondays with Monica Marie Jones. I am here and even on the break having a juicy conversation with singer-songwriter El Renee. So we are going to jump right back into our interview. And since you have been motivating and inspiring us, I want you to share with us who inspires you. Who are some of your inspirations?
Okay. Well, my boss, he definitely is a source of inspiration for me. The major people like my mom, my dad, my sisters, my family. But I think unlike majority of the artists out there, I am really inspired by each individual person that I connect with as a fan. I call them El Renee fam because I don't consider them to just be fans in the sense of the word where they're like a fanatic,
Right.
Not at all. I think that's probably one of the major reasons I get extremely moved during performances, because I think each person is not just a number, they're a person. So, I'm that artist that if you put a comment on one of my posts, I'm going to personally respond. There's no one else managing my pages or, Twitter. It may take me a minute to get back to you, but I like that connection that inspires me. So I'm heavily influenced and inspired by each individual person that I come in contact with.
And that connection you have is definitely apparent. I remember looking at one of your glow posts, which I love. Make sure you go follow her on Facebook. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she looks so happy. So I'm like, you look so happy. And you're like, yes, thank you, Monica, I am. I'm like, oh my gosh, you're responding to me.
Hilarious.
So I love when there is that personal connection. That means a lot to the fam. And I like how you say fam and not fans. That's awesome. So, who are some of your influences? I know that you said Kim. And for those of you who are just tuning in, when she said her boss, she was talking about Kim.
Right.
Who are some of your influences when it comes to your singing?
Musical style.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. Well, growing up, to give you a little backstory on it, I was in the household of a musician. My father was a saxophonist. He used to play saxophone. That's what I mean by was. And he would have jam sessions in the basement.
Wow.
And they were, they played everything from R&B to jazz to funk. So, some of the artists in those categories that influenced my style as a vocalist include Shaka Khan, definitely Stevie Wonder, Bill Withers, Earth, Wind and Fire. Yeah, those are my favorite. That's the kind of music that I really love to listen to, and I think listening to them at an early age helped influence my vocal style. Now, as I got a little bit older, I started being influenced by the lead singer Stokely from Mint Condition, India Arie, let's see, Whitney Houston, Take Six. So, yeah, well-rounded. I'm attracted to Sade, Sting, the Doobie Brothers. I'm a very well-rounded person.
And that's good. That's that versatility. I always love when people, they may have one genre that they sing under, but you can definitely hear the influences of all the other music within their music.
Right. It's very important.
Okay, so with that, who would you like? I mean, because you're getting ready to have your own tour, your own concerts. So who are some people moving forward that you would like to work with in the business?
Let's see. I think, oh wow, I really would like to work with Sting.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be amazing. I would love to do something with Stevie Wonder. Um, just two to think off the top of my head. And Sade. You know, the people who helped mold me to who I am today, I think to just be able to interact with them on a more, personal level and not just looking at them from the standpoint of a consumer would be awesome.
Well, I believe that can happen. So, in addition to seeing you at Kim's concerts, will there ever, I know you're about to be so busy, you're getting ready to leave the country, but will there ever be a time now, and I feel bad if you haven't already seen her perform live, if you took it for granted when she was opening for all these concerts around town, but will there be a show or a showcase or a live performance that we can come to see you? And remember, people are listening from all over too, so it doesn't necessarily have to just be Detroit.
Right. Well, I believe that the answer is yes. I would like to encourage anyone within eyeshot or earshot to visit my website.
Yes.
It's lrenee.net. And when you click on Tour Life, it gives a schedule of my upcoming events.
Okay.
Yeah. And that is updated quite regularly. So if you see your date or your town or your whatever on there, please come. Like I said, I love the connection. That's what I'm living for. That gives me life, as people would say. And you can also join the fam by clicking on family from any of the pages on my website, and then it'll give you insider information once you sign up for my email list.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm on that.
Awesome.
So we're going to take a quick break now. I want you to stick around for the break because we will be playing some of El Renee's music and videos. So enjoy that. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the song. And we'll be back right after this break on UrbanNationRadio.com. 30 seconds till we're live.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Motivation Mondays with Monica Marie Jones, and today with El Renee. We are going to start this segment a little bit differently. This past weekend when I was at Oprah's Life You Want tour, I had the pleasure of her choosing my tweet and answering a question that I asked her, and my name and my Twitter profile was up on the big screen in front of all these thousands of people. And that question was, what makes your heart sing? So, El Renee, can you answer that question for our listening and viewing audience? What makes your heart sing?
Yeah. I have carbs. No, I'm just kidding. I love to be in love. So
we must be soul twins or something.
That's my thing. I love having fun, but the thing that I really love about being in love is the connection. So I have learned to, when I don't have a special person, to transfer that to my fam. So yeah, that's my thing. That's what makes my heart sing. I love connecting with people, like on personal levels, not just the broad blanket spectrum.
That's so ironic because I don't know if I was in a workshop or a seminar or reading a book, and they said, in your journal, answer the question, what are you truly passionate about? And my answer was love. Like, people might have thought I would say writing because I'm an author or speaking. Yeah, that's cool and fun, but I am in love with love. Like, which is tricky sometimes because one of my exes said, you don't really love me. You make people fall in love with you, and then you're just in love with the idea of love. And I'm like, no, I love people too. But I really do love love.
Yeah, so it's great.
I feel you that. I feel that connection on that. So, speaking of hearts singing, you've been hearing us talk about this dynamic voice. You've got an opportunity to listen and watch the video. So now, for this exclusive moment, we are going to have El Renee sing a little something, whatever her heart moves her to sing for us.
Ooh. Okay, well, let's see. I'll do a cover of someone else's song, and it's one that people have come to request from me, so I'll sing a little bit of it. and it's from one of my favorite influences, Shaka Khan.
Yes.
Cool? All right.
Sounds great.
All right. So here we go. I will love you anyway, even if you cannot stay. I think you are the one for me. Yeah. Here is where you want to be. I just wanna satisfy you, though you're not mine. Can't deny it. Don't you hear me talking, baby? Love me now or I'll go crazy. Oh, sweet thing. Don't you know you're my everything? Oh, sweet thing. Yeah, yeah. Don't you know you're my everything? Oh, 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 yeah.
Oh, I feel so privileged to even be here. And of course, my phone was acting crazy. I was trying to film it. I'm one of her biggest fans. Oh man, that was awesome. Like I told you, didn't I? It makes your soul shiver and you get the goosebumps. That's the difference between singing and singing.
You are so silly,
girl, honey. Woo. Okay. So we are going to go into our next segment now. I know you still got shivers too. Me too. Our next segment, every week we do our motivational tips of the day. And what better way to get them delivered to us than from the beautiful El Renee. Now, she already gave us a fitness tip a little bit earlier, working out, exercising, and eating healthy because, wanting your clothes to fit a certain way and also reducing sugar. So now, will you give us a financial tip of the day?
Sure. First of all, I would like to let people know that the amount of money that you have doesn't really matter. What matters is what you do with the money that you have. And one of the best pieces of advice that I have is always work within what you have and pay yourself first. So actually, those are 2 tips.
Yeah.
And especially from an entrepreneurial standpoint, when, it's not, you don't have a certain regular amount that you get on a regular basis.
True.
So then you just kind of have the rule of, I'm going to put aside a certain percentage of everything that I bring in. And then you do that, and you make sure you work within what you got for that particular month. It works.
And I'm
like
so glad you said it doesn't matter the amount, because people often think, oh, if I have more money, all my problems will go away and I'll automatically be happy.
Absolutely
no, you'll still have the same problems you had when you were broke. So that's why learning to budget and manage the money is so key.
Absolutely.
Now, speaking of entrepreneurialness, I just made that up. What is a business tip that you have for us?
Let's see. Well, one of my family members gave me the advice that without a plan, you plan to fail. So, I would say the biggest piece of advice for anyone interested in business is to really think through the successes that you could have and the challenges that you may have, and be honest with yourself about those things. And once you get your brain thinking about what could potentially happen and you work through them, if those particular setbacks happen, you're ready to handle them.
And that's huge, and why a business plan is so important, because when we're excited and we're passionate about a business, we're automatically thinking about everything that's going to go great, everything that's going to work. This is going to be so awesome. This is the best idea ever. But we don't take the time to think about the challenges, and when we plan for that, then they won't be as hard of a blow when they happen. Because they're going to happen.
Yeah, there are ups and downs.
So why not be prepared? And now for our favorite subject of all. Can you give us a relationship tip?
Oh, my goodness. I'm probably not the right person to ask this question.
Well, I'm sure you have experience. I know even though I haven't done the greatest, I have a lot of experience. So experience, is a great teacher. I'm sure you have some wisdom.
Right, I do. I have a little bit. And this is something that I normally don't share with people. I have been married before.
Really?
I have.
Exclusive.
And I think, exclusive. So I think the biggest piece of advice is when you're in a relationship, in the beginning, everything seems great because you are looking at the person's characteristics that make you feel good about yourself. And I think as time goes on, you have to remember to think of that person as a friend still. So that's my biggest piece of advice.
Wow.
It's easy sometimes, like, when you first meet a person, everything is groovy, and then you start feeling like, well, why are they not doing this or that or this or that? And then you become disheartened. But actually, they're a human being trying to find their way just like you. And if you remain friends, then I think all that works itself out.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, and somebody gave me this advice, you're less likely to want to hurt your friend.
Right.
And when, things start to sag or whatever, at least you still have that strong friendship,
Well,
right?
you gotta sagging up. I keep your fitness up. Don't let yourself go either.
Yes.
Don't get comfortable either. Sometimes people get too comfortable. Be
on
fly.
now.
Especially as a woman, you gotta stay fly.
Yeah, and that's one of the number one complaints I hear from people is, you don't keep it spicy anymore. So yeah, keep that spice alive.
Lovely.
Woo! So man, it has been such a pleasure interviewing you. Tell us how we can most support you. Where, when can we go buy the album? Do you need YouTube hits? What can we do to support you? What do you need from us?
Oh, wow. I just need you guys to connect with me. If Facebook is your thing, if Twitter is your thing, if YouTube is your thing, I'm flexible. Just connect with me. And they're all under El Renee Detroit because I'm from Detroit and I think Detroit hustles harder. I'm just saying.
Yes.
So El Renee is spelled L-R-E-N-E-E and then Detroit. Whatever whatever you're into, let's connect. And please, download the song. I mean, let's not just forget that. Don't say goodbye. The official release date is coming soon, even though it is on Kim's number one selling album, Promise to Love. I need your support. I need it now more than I ever did, honestly.
And we can do that, because what is it going to be, like $1.99 to download it?
It's
or
not even that much. It's like $1. If you're at iTunes or,
Google Play,
Amazon,
go and download it the moment it drops. Because is there something special about downloading it on like the day or the week that it comes out? Is there something? No,
it doesn't. Just support whenever you can. Yeah.
So follow El Renee on Facebook. I'm telling you, her glow posts will give you life, as they have given me. Very motivational, very inspirational, which is why she was a perfect guest for Motivation Mondays with Monica Marie Jones. Thank you so much for listening on Urban Nation Radio. And I do have to say one more thing. And I know this doesn't necessarily go with our fitness tips, but let me tell y'all something.
Ooh, that looks
hot
delicious.
Toppings. I went there the other day and got a burger, and I got something. It was called like the Yard Bird or something. It had turkey and chicken and turkey bacon and a fried egg on it. That's kind of healthy still, right? Protein.
Bacon is pretty awesome too.
But I love bacon.
Bacon makes everything better.
It does. So this is our secret support of the week. So make sure you go to Hot Toppings. They are open Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 to 11. They're on the west side at 15539 Schoolcraft. Our secret support of the week. Go and support them now and tell them that Urban Nation Radio sent you.
I'm going right now, okay?
It's good, for real.
I believe you. They have bacon.
Yes, bacon. All right. Thank you so much, El Renee.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you. You're my friend to the end now. And thank you for listening to UrbanNationRadio.com. See you next week.
Bye, y'all. Next time. Don't forget me.
El Renee, Detroit.